Hey guys, how's it going? So I'm back. I'm gonna be filming regular videos, getting videos out weekly again. I missed you guys and finally got rid of that nasty cold. So I'm back to filming videos for you. So I'm gonna do one today on how to make little pockets, like coin pockets with parchment paper and freezer paper. So you can iron this onto the parchment paper, and it'll make it a little more sturdy. So I'm gonna be doing that. So I wanted to show you this one first. I did this yesterday for my son. It's got just extra paper I made a little recipe book. I talked about that in my black faux leather video, so I'll link that down below for you so you can get the backstory on that if you want. But I made this little pocket envelope for him to keep extra papers in. So this is the book here. Like I said, it's in my black faux leather video. I talked about it, but I made him a little recipe book, and so I wanted to make a little pocket to keep extra pages in for him to add to it. And so this is how it turned out. This is just a piece of white tissue paper that I dyed red with red acrylic paint and water, and I just kind of made it look, well, it looks like this. And when I glued it onto ironed it onto the freezer paper, it kind of did that, but still looks pretty cool. So I wanted to show you that, and then we're going to be making some little smaller pockets. I already did this one to show you. So just a piece of this paper here. I've talked about this before. I got this at Walmart. They don't actually have it in the store anymore, but you can get the same one on Amazon, so I'll link that down below for you. But it's actually not parchment paper. It's like the paper that you put down when you're painting, the painter's paper. I'm not sure what it's called. I'll link it down below for you. But it's thin like parchment paper, and I love that it's brown to make it look like leather. So I did this one here. I ironed it on already. I cannot talk, you guys. I don't know if it's because I can never talk. There's no excuses. So I went ahead and did this one. And we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. You have to be really careful. So I cut it down, but since I wrinkled the paper, now it's smaller again. So I'm going to go ahead and move this. I'm going to grab a towel, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I put a towel down and a Teflon sheet as well so that it doesn't stick to the towel. That's what happened on the other one. So let's go ahead and iron this one on. Yeah, you want to make sure on this one there is like a slightly shiny side. So you want to make sure that's down, and you want to make sure your shiny side of your freezer paper is up. That's the part that has the wax on it. Then flip it over and do the same thing. Once it cools down, I guess it adheres better as it cools. Okay, let that one cool down, and then I'm going to go ahead and go back over this one again because I can see some spots that aren't down, so I'll be back. Okay, so I have some different brown colors here. I'll probably do like one darker brown and one lighter brown. So I got this one here, Territorial Beige, Burnt Umber, Chocolate Bar, Burnt Sienna, and Nutmeg Brown. So I'll just play with these and see what we come up with. Okay, so I think I'm going to go ahead and start with the Territorial Beige. And as always, I always use my water, so I kind of dilute it a little bit. So we're just going to paint it on there. You want to make sure you protect your surface. I always use cereal liner bags. And if you don't want to get it on your fingers, wear gloves. And then I'll do this one in the darker brown. Actually, let's do the lighter brown on this one. Let's do Chocolate Bar. Chocolate Bar has a little bit of a red undertone. Okay, mixing with the beige color quite nicely. Oops, uh-oh, I'll have to clean that up. I just mixed it on my bottle. I guess that didn't stick down. Do some burnt sienna. Kind of just experimenting here. Okay, well, there's that one. Okay, this one I'm not going to use the territorial beige because I want it to be darker. I'll probably use burnt umber. Put gloves on. Okay, let's do the same thing. And do chocolate bar. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and finish this and I'll be back. Okay, so they're all dried. They did come up a little bit like you saw when I was painting it, but I was able to iron it back down when they were dry. Just flip them over and iron it back down. So I'm going to go ahead and use some Mod Podge to seal them. And I do want it to have a little bit of sheen, so I'm not going to use my matte one. So let's go ahead and do that. And we'll let it dry and then we'll make some pockets. Actually, you know what? I think I am going to try. I did get this today. It's matte varnish, so I want to see what it looks like. Okay, there's one. Let's do one with that, and then we'll do one with Mod Podge and see. Really? Okay, so I got it all covered with the varnish. This one's with the matte varnish, the Liquitex, and this is the Mod Podge. So we'll let them dry and see what they look like, and then we'll make some cute little pockets for junk journals. So let's go ahead and let it dry, and I'll be back when they're done. Okay, I'm back again. So they're both dry. This one pretty much has a sheen to it too. Hey guys, so I wanted to refilm a portion of this video. I realized while I was editing it that I didn't do it the same way as I did the little pocket that I made for my son's stuff. I'm not sure what the heck I was thinking, why I would do it like that, but that's not the best way to do it. And so I wanted to refilm this portion so that you can see the proper way or the best way to do this. So when I did this one, I dyed the paper, the tissue paper first, let it dry, and then I ironed it onto the freezer paper, which is obviously makes more sense and is the best way to do it because you don't want moisture on it. That's why they tell you to use no steam with your iron because it won't adhere. These ones came out fine, they worked, but I did end up having to glue some of it down because it kept coming up, but they did work, but it's definitely not the best way to do it. I ended up having to re-iron it several times to get it to adhere back down while I was painting it, or like once the paint was dry, I had to go back over it and iron it again because some of it came up. If you paint the paper first and let it dry and then iron it on, it obviously will work better. So that's what we're gonna do. Like I said, I want to make sure I show you the proper way to do it so that you're getting the best information. So I have two more pieces of the paper, the masking paper, and it's kind of like parchment paper, but I have two more of these, so I'm going to redo it and we'll make it right. So let me get prepared and everything and we'll get started. So I'm going to go ahead, I got everything all ready, got my cereal box liner and my paint. So first thing you want to do is crinkle it up, just like you do in any other faux leather type technique. You want to crinkle it up quite a bit because once you iron it onto the freezer paper, it's going to flatten out a bit. So you want to get some good wrinkles in there. Okay. Get my paintbrush. Okay, and then what I like to do, like I said, I'm going to do one in a lighter color and one in a darker. So let's do the lighter one first. Well, let's do the darker one first. This is burnt umber. So like I said, when you iron it onto the freezer paper, it'll flatten out, but that's also flattening out a little bit with the paint. Okay, so I had to get another piece of paper because the second one turned out a little lighter than I wanted it. Actually, they pretty much look almost the same color. So I want this one dark, just like these two. This one's like more of like orangish red color, and this one's darker. So I want that with this one. I want a darker color, and I think I'm actually going to keep the first technique in where I glued the paper, I ironed on the paper first onto the freezer paper. So I'll have two techniques where you do it before and then you paint it, and then one after where you paint it and then iron it onto the freezer paper. Either way works. You can do it however you want. Just remember that if you do it where you iron it on first and then paint it, you'll probably have to re-iron it. So it's totally up to you how you want to do it. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and do this one, and I'm not going to wrinkle it up because it just ended up flattening out anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the burnt umber, and then I'll just wrinkle it up after I'm done. And I'm not going to go all the way to the edges either like I did before. I'm just going to like smear it on and just kind of be kind of messy with it like I did with the other ones, because the other ones I didn't go all the way to the edge and get every spot. So they're both dry. I used my heat gun, and this is fast drying paint, so it's pretty quick. I went ahead and wrinkled this one up. I haven't done this one yet. It's probably going to flatten out again when I use the varnish. So I'm just going to use this one, the matte varnish, on both of them. Sorry, I had a little like incident earlier that kind of freaked me out. And so I'm still a little shaky. Sorry about that. But yeah, so I'm going to use this on both of them. And I'm doing all of this before I'm ironing it onto the freezer paper. That way, like I said, any moisture will stop it from adhering to the freezer paper. But also, like I said, it does work both ways. You just have to iron it down a couple times before you're actually done. So if you've seen any of my faux leather videos, which you probably have if you're watching this, I usually use Mod Podge on my, to finish mine, and it works, it's good. My recipe journal is still going strong, and it's been almost a year since I made that. That was my first video, so that was almost a year ago, because I started in February, and it's February, or I think it was March when I posted that. I'll have to go back and look, but yeah, so it's still holding up great. I mean, I don't keep it in the kitchen, but I do put it on the counter when I'm cooking to look at the recipes, and it hasn't gotten wet, but it's still just like it was when I first made it. So Mod Podge does work, but I did see Nick the Booksmith, her recent videos, she did a faux leather, and she was talking about how the Mod Podge, I guess, isn't the best for like a long-term finish. And because this does say matte varnish protects your finished work from UV damage, dirt, and dust with an archival matte finish. In Mod Podge, apply a smooth thin coat, build up finish, apply at least 5 coats. Oh wow, I never actually read the bottle. But okay, so I went ahead, they're done. So I'm going to go ahead and hit them with the heat gun. And then I'll go ahead and make the pockets. Like I said, I'm not going to do that part on, or oh, no, actually, sorry, I need to iron them on. So I'll go ahead and iron them on camera, and then I'll make the pockets off camera, because I already did that with the other ones, so I'll keep that part in the video. So I'm going to go ahead and let them dry, or like I said, hit them with the heat gun, and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back again. So I got my pieces here. I'll go ahead and start ironing them on. I'm going to actually flip them over and start that way first. So like I said, you want to make sure your iron doesn't have steam. I'm hoping. I do have it set up higher, but like I don't remember if I mentioned it earlier, but this iron, you can't turn off the steam. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and go over it on the top now. Okay, there we go. It's on there. Okay, here they are. Trimmed them down a bit. These little white edges here don't really matter because that's going to be the part that's folded and probably glued down the middle. So, but yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and turn these ones into pockets, and then I'll come back and show you what they look like. Like have all 4 of them together. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be back. Okay, so here they all are. These are the 2 I just did. So they look exactly the same as these ones, just a different technique. Gluing the, or painting the parchment paper first and then ironing it onto the freezer paper. And then these 2 are done the other way. We iron it onto the freezer paper first and then paint them. They both work, so it's totally up to you which one you would want to do. What's easier for you. Let's go ahead and make some pockets. So I'm going to start with this one. So the first thing you want to do is just fold it where you would want it, or well, so they meet in the middle. Okay, and then you fold it up where you want it. This is going to be the bottom. And then I think on these ones I'll actually do it with the little notch, but I think I'm going to cut it down a little more because I don't want it that long. Then what you'll do is take your scissors and cut this off. Maybe cut these ones at an angle a little bit. Like that. Okay, maybe I'll do one folded down and one with the notch. And do the same thing with this one. Just like that. That's the one thing I forgot to do on that one with the one that I made for my son. I forgot to cut it down like that. Okay, and then take your glue. So I'm going to use art glitter glue. Let's see, which way do I want it to go? Doesn't matter. Keeps coming apart, so I'm just gluing it. I don't know, maybe my iron's not hot enough. Okay, so there's that one. I don't think I'm going to use a closure. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the notch one on this one. I'll go ahead and get up to that point, and then I'll come back. Okay, so this one's done. I just cut it off at the top. Actually, it's a little lopsided. Let me fix that. There we go, that's better. Okay, so we'll just take, this one might be a little too big. That's too small. And just punch. Okay, there we go. That's it. Guess I could get out some of my labels. Let's get the ephemera book out. See what we can find. Okay, let me look through and see what I can find and I'll come back. Okay, found some stuff to embellish it with. The labels I made or printed out. I got this one for this, and I'm gonna take some thread and glue it on behind it. And then I take this one for, well, you can't see that up there, but yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and glue that on. Oh, actually I need that one to go underneath there. Okay, there we go, there's that one. And then I'll go ahead and do this one off camera. I'll come back and show you what they look like. Okay, there they are, all finished, and they look super cute. So you don't have to have any punch boards or anything to make your own little coin envelopes. You just make them yourself, very easy. Just make sure you cut them at an angle to make it a little easier, and there, well, just make it look more like a policy envelope or a coin envelope. And then on the inside, make sure you like kind of do the same thing. I didn't do that on the one that I made for my son, but yeah, they're super cute. And you can make one with the flap like that to close it, or you can make one with the little notch. So I think they came out super cute, and I hope you guys liked the video. Like I said, I'm back, so I'll have more videos out every week. Okay, I hope you guys liked this video, and I hope you like this version of faux leather using freezer paper. And like I said, if the reason it wasn't sticking, well, it's probably because I didn't have my iron hot enough, so you guys shouldn't have any problems. From all the videos I watched, they said you should have it set up as high as it goes and turn off the steam, but like I said, I can't can't do that on mine, so that's why. I'm assuming that's why it wasn't sticking. I just ended up gluing down any parts that didn't stick, so but I hope you guys try this, and I'd like to see pictures. If you do, you can send me an email down below, and I'll have the freezer paper linked down below and anything I used in this video. Give this video a thumbs up if you did like it. Let me know other types of videos you'd like to see me do. I'm always up for new ideas and always looking for new ideas, so let me know. I have the journal that I kept talking about that I'm going to be covering coming up soon. I'm changing it up a little bit of what I said I was going to do, so there'll be a little surprise there. I love you guys, and thank you for all my new subscribers I've been getting lately. You guys are awesome, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, bye guys.